misunderstanding on behalf of. I didn't see a whole lot of people say this, thankfully, but a couple of Christian friends of mine said this, and it annoyed me so much that I knew where they were coming from, and I didn't want to get into an argument about it. I just deleted their comments off my wall when they would say things like, "Oh, Robin's movies are wonderful, and he made us all laugh," or we're great for families, but I just hope he knew Jesus. And it's like, there's this condescension that's built into there, like assuming that this man who maybe he didn't tout having faith directly about it, but the guy, all I've heard is countless stories of how kind he was and how generous the things he did, all the charities he supported. And his number one charity were things like St. Jude's Hospital, which is obviously a Christian entity, and Make-A-Wish Foundation, where I read just yesterday, the stories keep coming out. He secretly chartered a jet himself and flew out to spend the day with a dying kid. And people are going to sit there and go, "I hope he knew Jesus." It's like, how dare they? And I think that's something that that people get wrong or misinterpret, or I don't know. I mean,
well, it sounds like he did Jesus, which is a lot more important than talking about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, that it just strikes me as you don't know what his connection with God was. B, if God, I hate to say this, but this is, God knows what's in my heart, and that I'm not looking for trouble with him. But I've always had a problem with that whole idea anyway. That how could somebody be so incredibly kind, and when somebody's unbelievably kind and generous with their life, and they're not, and you don't know whether they have so-called faith, but as long as they're not totally mocking God or saying he ain't there or anything like that, like a Lance Armstrong or a Ted Turner talking that way, then I think God's going to be welcoming them regardless of that, because they've done so much good in life, and that's doing, like Jake said, it's doing the work of God, doing the work of Christ, or and so to judge that or to wonder, I mean, come on. And then also the last thing I want to say about it is that from a Catholic point of view, and this probably applies in all of moral thoughts, I would think, for any faith, is that Catholics, we have like different. We look at sin as serious or mild, like mortal, or what they call venial, and that to have a sin be so bad that you're supposedly, going to go straight to hell if you don't repent. It has to be something that you know is really wrong, that you want to do it, you do it anyway. And when you're suicidal, that's so opposite of rational thinking and how the rational world works. There is no way on earth that you can be held accountable for that action unless you're doing it, in the moment of like, hey, you're a criminal, you're about to get caught, and like, you're trying to avoid getting caught. But when you're just somebody suffering, that's not a rational thought. There's no way on earth you can be held accountable for that.
Okay. I'm going to read from the Catholic Catechism. Of course, it says that suicide contradicts the natural inclination of the human being to preserve and perpetuate his life, and gravely contrary to just love of self. It likewise is hurtful or unloving of neighbor because it unjustly breaks the ties of the solidarity with family, nation, and other humans. We are all here for a purpose and a reason. So suicide is contrary to the love of a living God. But as it goes down to the next little paragraph, it says, grave psychological disturbances, anguish, or great fear of hardship, suffering, or torture can diminish the responsibility of the one committing suicide. In other words, God understands the whole story, and he sees the whole story of why someone comes to that point. Depression is something another that we're going to talk a little bit more about depression and how we can make sure that we do not let ourselves reach this point, to this decision of taking our life when we're depressed. Robin, How many times have I said in this show, God is love. If you live in love, God lives in you. A direct quote of Scripture. Mm-hmm. How many times? Many, 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 many times, right?
Sure.
So, did Robin live in love? Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. Did God live in Robin? Well, yes. Otherwise, Robin could not be Robin. God created Robin and made them this wonderful, precious, beautiful, fantastic, awesome person, just like each one of us, for a purpose and a reason and why, and Robin lived it to the fullest. He used all the gifts God gave him, and he did an awesome job of being Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I know without a doubt in my mind that when he took his life, that God understood, and he completely was there with him to say, I'm here, Robin. Please, he was not wanting him to do that, I know, but then again, at the same time, he's saying, I'm here. It's just like you and I. How many times have we done wrong? And it's not as grave as taking your life, but I'm trying to tell you there are little bitty ways that we can do things that is just as destructive, only it just takes a period of time to add up.
Sure.
Correcto? Yeah. So put that to rest, everybody out there listening. God is love. Robin was full of love, and therefore God was living in him. And I know without a doubt that when we go to heaven, it's going to be a much better place because we're going to find him up there.
Yep.
He's going to be there. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Because if he's not in heaven, then what chance do you and I have?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. None of us have done anything nearly compared to what he has done when it came to charity and love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's something else we're going to talk about when it comes to suicide of a relationship. Yeah, to take one's life is to take another's life is really what you're doing. And I know a lot of people will agree to that because I really want to encourage everybody out there to realize how important your life is and how much you mean to other people. Now, you remember Wonderful Life? Yeah, everybody remembers Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Now, he was given the gift of being able to see what the world would be like if he hadn't have lived. Well, none of us would have that ability, but we do have the ability to go and talk to people that know us and ask them, hey, am I really important in your life or important in life, period? I mean, go and talk to someone. If you're having a serious problem with depression, you get the help you need. Go talk to a counselor. Go talk to a minister. Go talk to a professional person. Go see a doctor. If you are that seriously depressed that you just feel like life is not worth living and I'm not worth a person to be around anybody, go talk to people. Just take the simple little step first of first talking to those who say, I'm your friend, and I really am your friend. Go talk to that person and ask them, if I was not born, what do you think would have been a difference in your life or anybody else's life? I had to think that in terms of when I married my husband, Bob, when I was at times wishing I hadn't married him. And the good Lord comes back with, excuse me, where would Sarah, Teresa, Brian, and Steph, where would all these people be if it wasn't for your marriage with Bob? Now, the kids would have told me this in the past, but Mom, we would still be here. And I'm going, no, you would not. Mm-hmm. I would have had other children. And see how important it is for the marriage. See how important it is for you being you and making a difference. There's another scene. I loved it in this movie, Pay It Forward.
Yeah.
There's a woman about to jump off a bridge. And Jim, what's his name, plays this guy that's reaching up trying to help her. The one that did Jesus Christ, I think.
Jim Caviezel, yeah, he's in that, yeah.
Huh?
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, he played that character, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he's reaching up there to her, and he's saying, she's telling him, leave me alone, don't try to save my life. And he's reaching up to her and saying, save my life instead. And this is what we do when we go out. If you're depressed and you are feeling like I'm not worth living, or life's not worth living, or I'm not a person valuable, go out and reach out to someone else who has that same look on their face, because you understand. You understand how they feel. So go out and do something to make another person's life, make a difference in somebody else's life, and it will save your life.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's so true. So very, very true. Okay. For somebody out there who's depressed, I'm going to give you this is the nurse in me now. There is a basic truth and a scientific truth, and you may know about it already. Within your lungs and the main tube going down to your lungs, station tube, anyhow, when you breathe deep, laugh, exercise, the important key word here is huff and puff. Mm-hmm. You are releasing within your body a chemical called endomorphin, and it's a feel-good chemical. So when you're depressed, it's important that you do something as simple as deep breathe, relax, and go take it even a step further. Sing, go watch a movie, laugh your head off, scream to the top of your lungs if you need to, and vent every feeling and frustration you're feeling inside. And there's also the other, I'm trying to think of the different exercise. Oh, yeah. Do something that will make your body huff and puff and release these I feel better endomorphins. Everybody agree on that one, don't you?
Yeah, I think the word is endorphin, no? I mean, I know you're a nurse, so maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, I haven't had sleep much this week.
Okay. I just want people to know who get it right when they're asking for help. Yeah.
Say it again.
Endorphins, yeah.
Endorphin.
Yeah.
So you know what? See, that's why I got you guys over there. You got my back.
No
all right.
problem. I liked endomorphin better because endo is inner and morph is a shape or a form. And so it endomorphin, I thought, my biochemistry is so rough. I liked your invention better because the name of the chemical is irrelevant. Right?
See, at that point, I would share something with you. Before I started this show today, take time to pray and get myself ready and get God as part of the show. And I was praying. And I was praying things, Lord, please come and help me and be with me and be with our show today and speak your thoughts through us and so forth and so on. And I was led to open up My Journey, My Cross. I don't know if y'all familiar with that book.
Yeah, we got it in the mail.
Yeah, I've got it on my bedstand. I look at it every couple of days.
Okay. Anyhow, I opened up, and this was for January 5th, 1995. My Journey, My Cross is a collection of going back into my journals and also connecting with my journey in life. And back in 1995, I wrote this. Remember, I was praying for God to come and be in my thoughts. Oh God, intimate friend and holder of all my life and all of my thoughts, understander of all that I do, thank you for being with me as I work my thoughts through, along with my feelings, my emotions, and my tears too. In all things, he that is greater than me shall help me do what is to be done. He will help me rise above and have victory over every moment, every situation in my life. In all things, for this I give thanks to you, oh my God. Now, isn't that exactly what God would want to say to each and every one? Because we're talking about feelings and emotions and moments in life and situations. Wow, God. Wow. He's awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Murder. Your thought, here, I'm thinking about the fact that there's two victims in Ferguson. Mm-hmm. Michael Brown, I don't know, I think about the fact that all of his life he's been exposed to a lot of other things that's come at him. And I bet his daddy doesn't realize how he played a part in Michael's actions that day and the things that he chose to do. And the same way with the policeman.